In a world where power often silences justice, Gaza's cries grow louder. Over 53,000 lives lost, millions displaced, and a humanitarian catastrophe unfolding. Yet Israel's war machine, led by Benjamin Netanyahu, presses on. But now, a major global player has stepped up, demanding an end to this devastation. Russia's voice is shaking the narrative, and it's time we listen. On May 21, 2025, Russia's foreign ministry, through spokesperson Maria Zakharova, called out Israel's relentless military escalation in Gaza. Moscow demanded an immediate halt to the war, the resumption of humanitarian aid, and a return to a political process rooted in international law. Zakharova didn't mince words. She expressed deep disappointment with Israel's decision to expand its operations, warning that it will only bring more death and destruction. This isn't just diplomacy. It's a direct challenge to Netanyahu's aggressive policies that have pushed Gaza to the brink of annihilation. Let's break it down. Israel's latest offensive, dubbed Operation Gideon's Chariots, isn't about security. It's about control. Approved by Netanyahu's security cabinet, the plan involves capturing Gaza, displacing its people south, and setting up aid hubs run by private contractors under Israeli military oversight. This isn't aid, it's a chokehold. Only 60 trucks of supplies are allowed daily, compared to 500 before the war. The United Nations has rejected this scheme, calling it a violation of humanitarian principles. Yet Netanyahu, propped up by his far-right coalition, barrels forward, ignoring global outcry and the suffering of 2.1 million Gazans. Russia's statement cuts through the noise. Zakharova called for conditions to restart peace talks, emphasizing a just solution for Palestinians based on recognized international frameworks, like the 1967 borders and a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. This isn't new for Moscow. They've consistently condemned Israel's blockade and indiscriminate bombing since the conflict reignited in October 2023. Russia sees through Netanyahu's playbook, prolong the war, tighten the siege, and crush Palestinian hopes, all to cling to power amidst his domestic political turmoil. The human cost is staggering. Gaza's health ministry reports over 53,300 deaths, mostly civilians, since the war began. 90% of Gazans are displaced, living in tents or ruins. Famine looms, with the UN warning that 2.1 million people face starvation. Israel's blockade, resumed after the ceasefire collapsed on March 18, 2025, has slashed aid to a trickle. Children are dying from hunger, hospitals are crumbling, and families are trapped in a war zone. Netanyahu's plan to manage aid through militarized hubs isn't relief. It's a cruel tactic to control and subjugate. Why does Netanyahu push this brutal agenda? It's politics. His coalition, propped up by far-right figures like Bezalel Smotrich, thrives on escalating the conflict. Smotrich has openly called for Gaza's destruction and Palestinian expulsion. Meanwhile, Israeli reservists and hostage families are protesting, accusing Netanyahu of prioritizing his government's survival over lives, both Palestinian and Israeli. Even the international community, from the UK to South Africa, condemns Israel's actions, with calls growing for accountability at the International Court of Justice. Russia's stand isn't just words, it's a wake-up call. While Netanyahu's war risks Gaza's future, Moscow's demand for peace and aid aligns with what Palestinians have begged for: dignity, survival, and justice. Zakharova's warning about more killing and destruction is already proving true. Hundreds died in the first days of Israel's renewed offensive. This isn't defense, it's devastation, driven by a leader desperate to hold power. We can't stay silent. Gaza's people are counting on the world to act. Russia's call is a start, but it's up to us to amplify it. Share this truth, demand a ceasefire, and support humanitarian efforts. Netanyahu's war must end, and Gaza deserves a future. Join the fight for justice, because every life in Gaza matters, and no leader should be above accountability.